Let's face it, the threat of warfare is the greatest danger our nation has ever known. A creation right out of science fiction. Scientific experiments on people. When pieced together, these will give some of the answers and some of the information we need to survive in a nuclear age.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. And tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game from both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
That's an early scrambler that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Josh Hines-Allen there on the stop.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Richardson. Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eric Armstead. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags.
They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through.
A short throw there to Strange.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
It's second and 8.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
They go play action now. Lawrence. That's caught. It's Travis Hunter.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 38 now, here's second down and 7.
Hunter now will go in motion left. Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Jaguars first down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Now Lawrence. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Jaguars first down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
That's good for 28 yards.
That's another Jaguars first down. First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Now a first and 10 at the 11.
In motion right here, Washington.
Now they show jet sweep it instead or run up the middle here.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom! Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Lawrence will throw.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
He'll try to put,
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Trevor Lawrence.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Jaguars put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you got to to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it was capped off by Trevor Lawrence taking it in himself. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Tammer to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And Richardson back to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville get on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. It's complete to Brown, right side. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
ETN up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. Lawrence on the sneak, and he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on third down, usually you think fourth down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on third. Lawrence now to throw after that last run. And his throw is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Screenplay, here's Etienne. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, then they might get hit with a screen. Maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step, and if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Lawrence on the sneak, and I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
That wound up backfiring. Instead of handing it to your workhorse fullback or running back, they went quarterback sneak, and now they have to punt it away.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dance up for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. But there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you can use your body to create some space.
Got a man, that's Hunter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 13-yard line.
Now Lawrence to throw. Back to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Lawrence on the sneak, and he's going to have a Jags first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A nice effort and an even nicer stop from Kwity Paye.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And this one is right through. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And now they run it across the 25 to the 27. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a give to Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. In motion left is Mitchell. Here's Richardson to throw. That's to his tight end, Tyler Warren. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
QB sneak, Richardson. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After running it, now Richardson will throw it. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First down. A 28-yard gain. First down, Indianapolis.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. That's complete. It's Adnan Mitchell. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Richardson looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They'll try to run for the first with Taylor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and run the option. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Richardson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Point after here coming up. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. "30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Lawrence. ETN bringing in another one. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He's going to let this one go deep. And he in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on second down. A final shot before the half. Richardson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 to score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Lawrence. He gets it to Thomas. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Gain of 8 brings up second and
motion with Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. From midfield now, Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
The Jaguars first down.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
It's now second.
Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run, and of course, get to the quarterback.
The light will come, the storm is done, you're letting go.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Lawrence. Thomas has got it, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Lawrence on the sneak. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. 4th down. Here's Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with the option. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
From the shotgun, Richardson. A short one there, caught by Warren. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Finds his big tight end, Mo Cox. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Oh, that's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ballgame. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
In motion goes the tight end. They run once more with Taylor. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Richardson.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Josh Downs from 8 yards out. And the Colts are back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 26.
They'll look to ETN to start things out. He's still on his feet.
And he'll be taken down at the 26.
65 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's good for the Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10 of the 26.
He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
Outside, that's complete.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Lawrence. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
It's a gain of 18. And the Jaguars, first down. 1st and goal.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Lawrence will throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Now Lawrence to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down and sack back at the 16-yard line. A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially at this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you score once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. On the option left, Richardson. And to the 42-yard line here, brought down there. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's another Colts first down. A gain of 29 yards. First down, Colts.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
On the counter, it's Taylor. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A gain there of 21 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. And second down.
Brings up second and 9.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Richardson looking to throw this. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Richardson shotgun on third down. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Adonai Mitchell from 3 yards out. And the Colts are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the fourth. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
At the 32-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Open man, it's Hunter. That one a first down pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. That's good for our Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
straight ahead, ETN. 69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Running out of the gun with ETN. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Snap will come from the 31 on second and 7. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. And for the defense, their third sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
What can they draw up now? Time to find out on a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
A gain of 12 yards. That's another Jaguars first down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Oh, a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
14 more yards. That's another Jaguars first down.
And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Here's first and goal. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's got it. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
The Jaguars will line up for the 2-point conversion.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead.
21.
so they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes them so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. This is 1st and 10. Richardson finding Pittman.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Here comes 2nd down. Richardson to throw it. Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his home. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Got to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Richardson.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
Here's Richardson.
That complete to Downs. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Richardson looking to throw it. Running it slant, and he finds Mitchell.
Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Here's Richardson. That one too wide and incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. Throwing now is Richardson.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. 4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. Working in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gault. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.